Welcome, welcome by For the Passion, Not the Fashion, the YouTube channel. We are here with McCourt from Portland, Oregon,
Hello,
the, the master of US metal. That's
Doctor
him.
Matthew.
Yes, yes, yes. How are you, Matt?
I've been better. I had a stroke at Christmas time. That's what I got for Christmas, and my mouth's got feel like I got a mouthful of roast beef sandwiches. But I'm doing the best I can.
Okay, okay, cool. Hey, first of all, I want to introduce you. You're Matt McCourt. A long time ago, we have met in Hamburg, Germany, at the St. Pauli festival that was organized by our common good friend Anthony Drago from Roma, Italy. Do you remember this night?
Yeah, and also Dirk Horman
Yeah.
and Pink Street Tattoo and Korea Black from Stone Cold Black. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a great time. We played 2 nights, and I didn't know I was going to play in the gig. They just said come over and hang out with us at Headbangers Open Air, and so I got a ticket for $600 and flew over. And they told me, "Oh, you're going to play this festival in a couple of days." Really? I said, "With who?" And they put me together with Robert Browning on drums, who's amazing, and Zulu Mamu on guitar, and we put together a set. We met once, we rehearsed once, and then we did it. Most of our set were like Led Zeppelin and Motorhead and Wild Dogs and Dr. Mastermind. And the the big song we did was Ace of Spades, of course. You know I'm more to lose. That gambling's for fools. But a lot of people won't do that. But me, I don't care. I've played so many gigs like that where you just
Uh,
meet people and go on stage.
oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
no, I mean I'm not. If rock and roll is meant to be perfect, get out of here. Rock and roll is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be fucked up. And
yeah.
so when you do it on the spot, you're making music, not just replaying it. I don't like bands that sound like the record at all. I think they're fuckers. I don't like them. So
Yeah.
I like it like the old days when Led Zeppelin would jam for a half hour on a song. I don't want to hear the record. I bought the record. I want to see the guys play. And so we did that at that gig. And at the end of the Death Riders was after us, and at the end of the gig, all these people from Netherlands followed
Yeah.
us outside and
Oh,
talked. Yeah, it was great. We had a huge crowd outside saying, "Wow, you're not the standard heavy metal band. You play rock and roll." Yeah, I that's what I do.
I
You know,
remember. Yeah, I remember I was there with the band I managed at the time, TCF, Trashcore Fanatics, and uh, and with the friends of Evil Invaders, who played one of their first shows, which are a popular band right now. They played also at that festival. It was a great night. Yeah, I remember that in
and you gave
Hamburg.
a magazine that was about that thick.
Yeah, yeah, I still have it.
I do too.
Yeah, you still have it. Oh, wow, cool, man. Yeah, the Headbangers magazine. Yes, you have the first issue, I think. It was the first issue, I think.
Yeah, that was a lot of work.
Thank you very much. It's really. Hey, Matt, you're one of the original members of the notorious cult heavy metal band, the Wild Dogs. How
Yes.
did it? How did it all started for the band, and how did you get noticed that in such a fashion that you rewarded with a record contract at the time?
Well, this is how it started. I had a group called the Ravers,
Yeah.
and it was the Ravers. I was a teenage rock and roller. Was my album. I had a record deal, and the drummer shot somebody at a transit station and went to jail, and the other band member left. But I had all these shows to do that I booked, and is it still working?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I got a low battery thing, I think. And anyway, um, so Mick Zane, my friend from that was in Malice later, Mick the
Yeah.
guitar, he called me up and said he called me Hawk because we were in a band in 1978 that did uh, all original heavy metal like Budgie and Judas Priest up Rock and Roll and Sad Rings of Destiny. And that was in 1977, 78. He's my friend forever. And his sister is a good friend. But he called me up and said, "Hey, Hawk, I burnt my hair. I used to have long hair. But the guitar player in my band turned flash pots on me while I was loading them. I have no skin, no hair in my fingers. I blew my fingernails off, but blew all my hair off. So I had like a mullet by fire." Anyway, he called me Hawk. And he called me up and said, We need a bass player. We need a bass player. I said, okay, I can do that. Because I was playing guitar then and playing on all punk shows, punk clubs, all two of them. And because I was into punk rock. And because I got tired of heavy metal after that, about 1979 and 80, the Ramones came out and Sex Pistols. And I really loved that beat of the Ramones. And I was kind of tired of the old dinosaur heavy metal shit. And so I started writing my own songs in that fashion. And he said, "Hey, come play bass for us." I said, "Okay." "Hey, I've got some gigs. Will you guys do the shows?" And on drums we had Pete Holmes from Black and Blue, and he also played with Michael Schenker for many years, and now he's with Rat.
Oh,
And,
wow.
he's a great guy, really good friend, and we wrote songs well together. And Jeff Bark, the guitar player, he didn't even say hello to me for the first 2 or 3 weeks when we rehearsed. Weird guy, but
That's
we
strange.
good songs together. So we played that summer. Played a bunch of gigs. We played with Rail.
Yeah.
Uh, I think we opened for Black Oak, Arkansas once, and this was like in 3 months. So Jeff's sister was in a recording engineer class at the studio, and they needed a band to practice on, live band. So Jeff said, "Hey, you want to record?" Okay, yeah. And I got songs. I had lots of songs, and so we got together at Danny's house, the bass player, who I actually replaced in the band with Mike McZane. And nobody had songs. I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "I've got this song called Fugitive of Love. Fugitive of the Law is what it was." And we figured it out and then went and recorded it. The engineer in the class liked it so much they had us come back again. So we had like 3 weeks to write some more songs. And so we wrote some more songs and went back and we did it again. And then Pete Holmes joined Black and Blue.
Yeah.
Okay, they're a cover band. Everybody was in a cover band, a coffee band. Jeff's band played like Foreigner and Journey, and Black and Blue played Wrathchild from Iron Maiden and AC/DC and stuff like Cheap Trick. I never did like I was never in a cover band. I my record's scratched, so I didn't know the whole song. I took
But
chord.
you're you're now in a tribute band, huh?
Oh no, not now.
Oh,
I played that Judas Priest tribute
yeah.
once for a little while, and I got sick of doing heavy metal and Wild Dogs. So I love Motorhead, and I can sing like that. I used to be able to sing like that. So I started a thing called Ace of Spades, a tribute to Motorhead. But we didn't start out to be a band. We never had any intentions of playing live. In fact, I think the other guys were embarrassed by me because I was a punk rocker, and we just recorded, and I kept coming up with songs. Jeff had parts, and I finished the parts of his. Like I write the chorus, like you come up with the evil in me, and I came up with the chorus of it and the words and everything. That's how we came about. And I saw Mike Varney on MTV one day, interviewed by JJ Jackson, and he was looking for bands with good guitarists right when we did our first demo.
Okay.
And we never started out to be a band. We never said we're going to be a band. We're going to do this. It was just something to do in the afternoon. And so, with no intention, we wrote some great songs with no direction. We didn't know about the heavy metal shit and all that. We just was in us, and I wrote for them. And so that's how it came out. And I saw him, and I said, "Let's send him a demo." And Jeff, the guitar player, no, it's not good enough. I said, "Fuck that! I've got a record deal already, and if the songs are good, they'll stand up." So we sent him a tape with some S&M. It was a it was two people in latex bodysuits doing something, and that was what was on the cassette cover. Not a picture of the band, going, because we were too fucking ugly.
And this was that record, huh?
Huh?
This was that debut album, huh?
No. That was how we got our deal.
Yeah.
So he said, "Yeah, I'll put you on the compilation of U.S. Metal Volume 2.
Yeah.
And from then, they said, "Well, that's great. Then we needed a drummer because everybody moved from here to Los Angeles. Black and Blue, and we had Jamie St. James on drums on the half of the first Wild Dogs record, because Jamie is a drummer, and Pete joined Black and Blue, and Jamie had a drum set, and he played drums in Black and Blue before that. So he came down and was a friend of Danny's. He lived up the road from where we practiced, and so he played drums on the Born to Rock and Life is a Game and Two More Wrongs Don't Make a Right, and I forgot the other two, but that's how we started, and we recorded that and sent it to Mike Varney, and Mike Varney liked the Tonight Show and put that on U.S. Metal Volume 2. And I told Mike, "Hey, Mike, instead of doing a compilation, you should take the band that has a good response and make a record." And he said, "Well, you've got 5 songs, and I'm going to pay you for the record sales of U.S. Metal 2. See if you can work a deal out to record 4 more songs at the studio." So we did. That was our first album.
Whoa. The Evil in Me. I like the song also, The Evil in Me. It's also a great song. Maybe you meant that was also one of the classics, right?
Yes, it's my songs come from real experiences. I don't know what they mean till later, but I realized it was from watching some of my friends get beat up by their parents, and that came out. I don't write words and then put them to music. The rhythm of the music makes words come into my head.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Actually, yes.
I don't write a bunch of song words and say, "Okay, let's put it to music." I just, I'm a drummer, and since whatever the beat of the music dictates the words, and so when me came out of that, and it made sense. I don't know how it happens because my songs eventually make sense, and that's crazy. That's a good one. Whips and chains and baseball bats.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that song.
You beat me enough. I like it.
Life is just a game. It's it's a song. One of the songs I play very very often if I am showering or doing something like. Then I'm playing this. Life is just a game, and put it. That's.
That song is about my mother's life.
Really.
Not wanting to work and do a day job all the time, which I eventually end up doing.
Wow, cool. It's
nobody music makes any money.
No,
Even
not
major labels, guy like Black and Blues on Geffen, they all do like landscaping and plumbing and the labor jobs now. That they didn't make money. Nobody does. The records label make money.
The big labels, but not these days.
No, the big labels they didn't pay either. Like Metallica only sold 7,000 records when they got signed.
Yeah.
No, you don't make any money off that.
No, I know some of the bigger musicians, like bigger, like the more, and they make not much money. The DJs these days, the techno DJs these days, they make a lot of money, and they even cannot play an instrument, which is yeah. Of course, it will be a technique too, but yeah, come on, For me, it's plastic music, in my opinion. But who am I?
Yeah, good work as I can get. The idea of a record label, as the guy that produced my first album, The Ravers,
Yeah,
wanted to get a job as a publicist and moved to California
yeah.
to work for MCA. And he told me he started at CBS in '63, and
Mhm.
he ended up being retiring as the senior vice president of the entire Universal music industry. And he told me, kid, you don't ever pay the musicians real money that they can take home. You just give them loans.
Yeah.
The people that make money are the guys at the label, and I'm offering you a job. And like a dumb shit, like when you're 20 years old, don't know any better. Oh no, I can't do that. I could have done both, but my publicity skills that they taught me, and Shep Gordon, Alice Cooper's manager,
Yeah.
who that taught me a lot of stuff. And that's why you even know about Wild Dogs. Man, we sold 700 records.
And I have one of them.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
rare. And
Wow.
so far, I put out 4 records afterwards. Okay, I won't. You go ahead and ask me a question.
Yes. Hey, and with wait a moment. Oh yeah. Waldogs was really known for their US metal approach, but also for the outrageous stage costumes and performance. What was the reason for being over the top in comparison to other bands?
Well, the guitar player and the bass player weren't over the top performers. Jeff stood there. Dean Castronovo, I found him at age 16, and I thought, wow, he's like Neil Peart and Tommy Lee put together. He's a big showman. My phone is dying. Fuck.
Wow. And
Let me
yeah.
get a table.
Okay. Cool.
I figured this would happen.
Oh, the charger.
Yeah. We were supposed to do this earlier, so I just didn't do anything. So you can edit this out, huh?
Yes, I hear you. I still hear you.
Okay, hold on. It'd be easier if I could see, but I can't. There we go.
Cool.
You still here?
Yes. Yes.
No. Oh man. So here we go. See, I have to use this to even see.
I think you have to put your camera like you did before.
All right, I'll try. How's
Yes.
that?
Yeah, yeah, it's better. Yes.
Okay. Now back to the Wild Dogs and
Yeah.
the stage performance. The reason for our costumes was, I saw the movie Road Warrior and Conan with Malice's Jane Reynolds
Yeah.
in the same week, and I thought, wow, I like that, and so I just studded up a leather jacket, and I told our bass player, hey, get some track spikes and make some armbands. Okay. I came to practice with this plastic toy helmet with all these spikes on it. It's pretty funny. And it was just kind of, I didn't want to dress like a regular guy or whatever. So I thought, here we go, I can do that. And I did the same thing with this jacket. It's a new version. The old one doesn't fit me, but I still have it. And
Cool.
on stage, Dean would throw his drumsticks up 20 feet in the air and catch them, and play like crazy, like Tommy Lee got it from Motley Crue.
Yeah, of course.
And me, I was kind of like a punk rocker. I had short blonde hair, like spiky, like Billy Idol.
Yeah.
And the crowd would spit on me, and I'd spit back. They'd spit back on me, and I would not get pissed and welcome people up on stage. And the other bandmates didn't like that, but sometimes there were about 20 people up on stage to sing with me. So we had all these people around my mic singing with me, and we hadn't had a record out yet. But they knew all the words.
Wow.
It was great.
Yeah.
So I just made that my thing, kind of like well, I saw Bruce Springsteen in 1978 with the guitar player for Poison Idea, who was a good friend of mine. That's a major punk man.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're going to go see Bruce Springsteen with me?" I said, "Oh, no." And he said, "Yes, you're going to like it. You're going to go and you're going to love the guy." And he was right. Bruce Springsteen is one of the best performers I've ever seen in my life. And I stole most of my stage stuff from his show.
Wow.
Bringing
But
people
you have a really the Wild Dogs have a unique unique attitude, like it's indeed it's like Priest go punk and heavy metal and Motorhead and like everything is in between, you have your own identity, and you are one of the few guys who had short hair, stuff like that, and yeah, now you have longer hair than back then.
that's because it's pandemic time. Yeah. But I'm really the guy that had the multi thing. They wanted to be just regular stuff. Basically they didn't care about the guys in the crowd. They only wanted to meet teenage girls. Really.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a shit about that shit. I wasn't there to have sex. That never happened for me. I go to the store and I get laid, but really, but on a concert, no, never. It's weird. And I was too busy talking to all the guys. There was a million guys at our shows, and that I couldn't be bothered with trying to pick some girl up. I wanted to meet all the fans of music, because I bet my whole life on this. I wanted to be a rock star and not work. And the best, I wanted to meet all the people that like the music. So I was the guy that went out and talked to all the people.
You are not a pussy whip like SODs have a song. You're like a lot of guys get pussy whipped when they have like smell like women around, and the friends, and everything is not in view. And you are one of the you never were. When you want to get laid, you go other ways. Not in not yeah. You know what I mean?
You'll find a hooker. That was easy.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
There's lots of them around. So
Yeah, we talked about it a lot of times. Remember?
I got busted for it once too.
I will manage some for you if you're in Holland. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
when I was here in Amsterdam in 2002
yeah.
with the mentors, we went walking through the red light district every night.
Yeah.
I remember one girl inside this one of the closet rooms. She said,
Closet rooms. Yeah.
she kept saying,
Closet.
"Help me, help me, help me! I'm being held hostage." And it was really gut wrenching. But we went to a place called the Tipple Zone.
That's where the street hookers are.
Drive through and then park.
Yeah. Street
That
hookers.
that seemed a lot better. Didn't seem like people were prisoners. Yeah, with all those Turkish pimps outside.
I know. I know. We know more than the most people around. So, but let's keep that private between our private chats, okay?
We stopped though. We just drove through. Paul from Hammerhawk, who's now at Emerald, and Thijs van Brunt, who's
Yeah.
the bass player for Hammerhawk. We all went one night.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, those guys are great. Steve Broy from the Mentors said,
Yeah.
"Come over to work. Meet us in Amsterdam. I'll pay your way with my frequent flyer miles." You see, he's an inventor. He's like a genius inventor. So he travels the world all year. So he combines mentors gigs, and this time it was Killing on Wrench, and uh, we had fun. 12 days of nuts. I didn't sleep hardly at all. 5 guys in a hotel room, and they all snored.
Oh, whoa, yeah, that's if you are next to someone who's doing that all night, yeah. But I sleep in every. If I'm tired, I sleep anyway. So who's snoring next to me? I don't care.
Nah, the time shift was crazy.
Yeah.
But see,
Hey, about
while
maybe
you're there, go ahead.
no, no, I was maybe I skip some questions for later because you were talking about and continue by my next question in a few more in a while because you were talking about the mentors, right? And about Hammerhawk.
Mm-hmm.
Shall continue. I skip some questions to continue here with that story.
Okay.
What was your connection? What's your still your connection to bands like the Mentors from the USA and Hammerhawk from the Netherlands?
Well, Steve Broy, Dr. Heathen Scum, has been a friend of mine since 1985, I think, and he used to
Yeah.
see Seattle. Yeah, and one of the band members when I got replaced in Wild Dogs, I already had a band called Evil Genius,
Yeah.
and one of the guitar players was also in the Mentors, Chris Jacobson. And so we played in Seattle, and Steve Broy came down, and since then we've been really good friends. So about 2000, he decided he was going to get a hold of me and wanted me to record with him. And I had a friend that had a studio, and so he would come up and record with my friend Bryce Van Patten. He used to do the Man in Black label. I did a couple compilations, but he's a drummer. He was going to be our Wild Dogs drummer when I met Dean, but we've been and met Gene, and that was it. And so I did like 6 records, 6 Church of El Duce records with the Mentors guys.
Yeah.
And I played guitar on some and sang on all of them. And that's we would come up over a weekend with song ideas, and we just record Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and then Bryce would mix it, and we'd do a whole album in 3 or 4 days. There's some good songs, some pretty funny ones. And Steve, no, it's got to be turnier because do you want me to sing it regular or what? So he'd write out some words and, hey, slut.
Yeah.
And
It's yeah.
that's how that happened. Then the Hammerhawk, we stayed at their house in a mountain.
Paul. Paul at Paul's place.
Paul's place, yes. And he
Yes.
lives at the bottom. He's got a studio. And then there's 2 stories. The second story, Thais and Yolanda lives up there, the bass player.
Yeah.
And stayed there for 2 or 3 days and got to know him. And the drummer Raymond stayed at his house once, and Yolanda's stayed friends with me ever since. They came and saw us at the Headbangers Open Air. Unfortunately, Ty's is not around. I think he committed suicide like El Duce.
Yeah.
Jumped in front of a train.
Yeah.
Pretty sad. But that's how I know them. And we recorded with the drummer Raymond at some studio in Holland, and by a bridge too far. I don't know where it was, but they kept saying that the movie is about that bridge, a bridge too far. And we went into it was a sheep farm, and I walked into one room, and there's all these rabbits, dead rabbits, strung up.
Oh.
It's like they're curing them or something. It was weird, but that's how I know them. I just stayed friends with them ever since. Talked to them all the time.
Okay.
Mainly Yolanda, and her husband just had a bad thing.
Thijs.
He had a stroke too, like around the same time I did. But he's worse off than I am. He can't talk and walk. So yeah, I got off pretty lucky. I could be a lot worse. But let's see. When I when I was in Holland, when I was in the Netherlands in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
Bill Allen Wrench told me, Matt, you're an art guy because I'm an art history fan. Took some classes, and he said you'd like this. Come with me. and we went to Herman Brood's
Herman
studio.
Brood. Herman Brood.
Herman Brood.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was. And we passed a guy that looked just like Bono from U2 when we went in.
Wow.
And it was like over a bar. And when we got up there, the manager said, "Hey, you just missed Bono." Oh, wow, it really was him. And he said, "These people come and spend the weekend that were friends with Herman." And I saw his artwork on the wall. I thought, that's what I'm gonna do. No great artists ever made money or sold a lot when they're alive, but when they're dead, yeah, I would never know about him if he didn't leave a large body of work. And
Yeah.
so I'll leave a large body of work as well as a large body, and I'll sell it along the way until I'm gone. At least it'll be in people's hands, so there's evidence that I was alive. I've recorded 42 records since
Wow.
1980.
Whoa, that's a lot.
My
Yeah.
website, usmental.com, you
Yeah.
can get 22 of them for free on the
Wow.
free page. And
Eh,
all the stories and my whole history, the 15 bands, the Volts, the Ravers, the multiple lineups, the Wild Dogs, Dr. Mastermind, Evil Genius, the Mentors, it's all on there.
Oh, cool.
I did the whole thing myself. I do everything myself because I can't afford to pay anybody to do it. So I learned everything from the ground up, how to do the graphics and how to do web design.
Wow, you all did that yourself?
Yes, everything.
Wow. Wow.
I just learned how to do it. My girlfriend, Debbie, said, "Here's Photoshop, learn this, and it'll change your life." And it took a long time. It took me about 15 years before I was really good at it, and now I'm really good at it. And
Wow.
same with web design. She said, here's the software. This will change your life. And that's how I started my website. And
Wow.
I got really support. I have been with her for 30 years, but we aren't married. We've been married. We don't want to be married. Why ruin a good thing? And my idea is I will make music for when I'm not here. And I renewed my website and web hosting for 25 years.
Yeah.
So in case something happens to me, it's always going to be there.
A lot. And what's the link of the website where they can find everything from you? Please mention it again.
usmetal.com.
Okay. Clear. It's easy to remember, guys. Check his website out. And let's continue to the next questions, because you how would you describe your musical evolution with the Wild Dogs? Were there
Uh,
changes? Arranged beforehand, or the
yeah,
great? Yeah.
our first album was done totally natural with no direction.
Yeah.
Then the reviews came in, and I made the mistake of showing the other guys in the band.
Yeah.
So they tried to please the people, and some of these people that you cannot ever please. Tried to please them by changing their style to please the one or two guys that didn't like us.
Yeah.
That ruined the band. And plus, they didn't care what kind of music they played. They just wanted a major label deal. I'm fine with an independent label. We were doing pretty good. We had our own sound, everything. They wanted to be more like foreigner or mainstream selling thing. They
Yeah.
didn't care. They did not have any loyalties. The heavy metal thing, all that stuff. And so they figured they'd do better if they got a better and different singer with long hair and it was skinny. And Mike Varney even said, um, on the first look at your record, the first Wild Dogs record, it says Matt minus 20. That means Matt should lose 20 pounds. It's inscribed on that little plastic between the end of the last song and the paper label.
Okay. Let's see what I want.
And so I've joked about I've been 20 pounds from superstardom. And now I've lost almost a.
Oh yeah. We stick to the evolution of Wild Dogs, the musical evolution.
Well, the musical evolution was we wrote the first album and a lot of the second record, and we did the second record, and they tried out a singer before that, and it didn't work out. I did everything for the band. I got the record deals, I booked all the shows, I did all the publicity, but I wasn't good enough. So they wanted that they control. Actually, Jeff was like, "Well, now that we're going someplace, we'll get rid of Matt, and I'll get somebody, and I'll be in control of the thing."
And that was the point. That was the point when you were no member of Wild Dogs when they released the Reign of Terror.
No, what happened was they weren't. Nothing was happening at the rehearsals.
Okay.
And screwing off, so I got a band of friends to do demos with me, so I could have finished songs and bring those demos to rehearsal and teach the band my songs that way. So all the songs for Dr. Mastermind were actually songs I written for Wild Dogs.
Yeah.
And I had a band called Evil Genius. And so we made fun of heavy metal and the long hair. We all bought the same wigs and costumes, and that's how I just kind of made fun of it, because that was the big thing. The reason that they didn't want me is because I didn't look the part. Well, either did Jeff. He's ugly as fuck. But so I remember going to a Night Ranger gig, and my friend
Night Ranger
going to be our manager. I had a meeting with him. I met him in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I used to put all his publicity printouts for. I put them on tables where we played. One guy called me, and he was Ken, the guy that worked for Journey and Night Ranger. I met with him one day of this 2-day gig. Talked all day about what we're going to do. The second night, the rest of the band came, and so I had to sit through Night Ranger twice. Black and Blue played, so it was cool.
They played support.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Night Ranger. And anyway, I'm not a big fan of Journey either, but this guy wanted to be a manager. So we're going to have a meeting after the show. I get on the bus, we go in the back, and Jeff gets on last with an extra guy and introduces himself. Hi, I'm Jeff, the guitar player, and this is our new singer.
Whoa.
And I said, huh? Yeah, that's how they told me.
Wow.
Instead of saying, hey, this isn't working out, we're going to get a new guy. It's like, gee, thanks. But that's the way my life is. When my mom gave my dog away, I didn't know she was going to give my German Shepherd that I really have a good relationship with. I got phone calls that said, hey, we're calling about the German Shepherd you're giving away. What?
Whoa.
Or like when I got my tonsils taken out, she forgot, she didn't tell me she was going to have me circumcised, because when I was born, it was too little. So I woke up with a bloody penis. I have some serious issues with people who just don't want to be upfront because they're afraid I'll get mad. Then I'm fucking mad, and I'm fucking vengeful for my entire life. And so they didn't tell me this, and I said, what? And they said, yeah, Matt, John's going to be a singer. Oh, this guy. And he lasted like 3 months before they called me back.
That's really like a snake. It's really a snake, like a snake.
Yeah. So it happened to me not twice, but 3 times. So I did these gigs with, we played with Yngwie in Sacramento, Yngwie in Dallas, and Yngwie, as a friend of mine says, when Mike Varney played him, I said, that guy is the future of rock guitar. Get him here. Where is he from? He's from Sweden. Fly him over here. He'll be the next big thing. And then about a few months later, I called Mike Varney's house, and the guy that answered the phone was Yngwie.
What? The guy who answered the phone was?
Yeah, he was staying at Mike Varney's house, and so I got to talk to him all the time, and told him, hey man, you transpose clav. I showed when I was 10 years old, I heard the classical radio station. I heard this sound I thought was a guitar, but it was a clavichord, which is a keyboard, a string instrument, plucked instrument keyboard, and it sounded like a guitar. I said, wow, and I said, yeah. I said, the guy who could transpose that and playing guitar, he would be a huge sensation. And that was that guy. And he said thanks. So we got to be. I saw him so many times as a guest, and then after the show we would hang out and take his guitar apart. We played with him when he was in Steeler, and the rest of the guys on band wouldn't go into his hotel room. No, I don't like that guy. They hated every band we played with. So it was me and a couple of road crew guys and Jay Reynolds from Malice. It was down in L.A. But I forgot where it's going. But I don't know. Yeah, so I had this band, Evil Genius.
Yeah.
And so I just played around gigs, and then Mike Barney called me up about 6 months later and said, "Hey, what about if you could get Dean and do a record, and then I can hook you up with a guitar player." So he hooked me up with. Ingve was not available. We called him for Dr. Mastermind. He said, "I'm going to give you a solo deal with $25,000 budget." And because my band had, this is what happened. So I play all these gigs in the summer with Wild Dogs, and we got one coming up that's going to be on Dean's birthday. So I kept getting calls from people from magazines and said, "Hey, I thought you were in the band." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" So, well, we got a press release from this manager guy that said that Michael Furlong is going to be the singer. What? And I said, huh? After 3 of them, I called the manager up. I said, "What's the deal with this?" "Well, yes, that's what's happening." "Didn't they tell you?" I said, "Hey, come on, they didn't tell me the last 2 times either." So
What he said?
he said, "They didn't tell you that they're going to get another singer?" "No, we have a gig on Friday." "Well, it'd be pointless to do another show with Wild Dog because you're not going to be the singer. I called up every guy in the band and the road crew, and they all lied to me and said, "No, that's not the deal. No, you're the singer. You're going to be the singer on the next record." I said, "That's not what the manager said." I called the manager 3 times. I said, "They're denying this." He said, "No, that's what we're doing. You're not in the band anymore." He just didn't want me to not show up for the gig. So I show up for the gig. I didn't tell the band. My friend, this guy named Erie Boner, who's a punk rock drummer who played with the band that was Poison Idea before Poison Idea, the Imperialist Pigs. And he was in my house, my friend since childhood. He said, "Hey, dude," he's Swiss. He goes, "What you should do is dress up like everything's normal, then walk out." So I did. The place is, had 1,000 people there. I said, "Thank you, good night," and then walked out the side door. And
but then they're gonna then they would blame you for everything, publicity.
No, they really loved me.
Okay.
I had about 15 people in on this, and I said, "Okay, wait till I'm gone for a while, then go ask for your money back."
Yeah.
And I told Jeff these guys, "You wouldn't be honest with me, so how do you like your taste of your own medicine?" And and Jeff's mom died like the week after that, so I just kind of felt like, well, faith. Anyway, we waited till they waited. We had a car parked around the corner that I drove to my place, the Villa, which is a song on the Dr. Mastermind record. And they all met up at my place later. I was the manager of the apartments, and they had asked for money back for not being me not showing. But we made $160. Yeah, in refunds.
And what? Hey, and
Everybody had gotten in free.
oh, okay. Everybody was on the guest list.
Yeah, they all asked for their money back.
Okay, lol. Hey, and but about this when you were not in the band, there was in general there were quite a few lineup changes in Wild Dogs, and but
that was after.
That was after. Okay.
After it's there. After it's there, I tried to get the band back together to play Wacken Open Air.
Yeah.
But they said, I'm not, oh, we don't want to go to Germany. They don't want to hear our old song. I don't want to play that old shit. I go, well, okay, fine. So I got my own lineup together. That was after about
Yeah.
6
Okay.
months. And we used to record all the time with Jeff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just, yeah, because like a dumb shit, I did I kept being friends with him.
Yeah. And about this all these years in with all those guys playing, with Dean Castronova was only 16 when he joined the band. But are you still
Yes.
in are you still in touch with former
Oh,
members
yeah.
of Walter?
From Dean, yes. In fact,
Yeah.
when I was in the hospital, he contacted me by text and said, "Man, what's up? You know,
Oh,
what's
nice.
a photographer from Seattle was covering Journey and told him that I was in the hospital. He was
Wow.
actually one of the guys that said, Matt, go to the hospital. Okay. And so,
Loyal guy. Loyal
yeah,
guy.
known Mike forever. But yeah, Dean texted me, and he was like my kind of like a kid brother, man. Because
Like
I
a
met
little
him
brother.
first.
Little brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I met him before anybody else. Me and Jay from Malice and Kip from Evil Genius, we went and saw him play at a club, and man, he had this huge drum set, and the other bandmates had to play on the dance floor. It took up so much room, but we got to know him, and the next week we were doing the Malice demos, the demos for the band Malice.
Yeah. License to kill.
That's the second record,
Yeah, but and the first record is called I have
Malice.
I have
In the beginning.
I have both albums here, vinyls, both vinyls. Yeah.
And so that's how I got to know Dean. And he didn't want to go to L.A., so he called me and said, hey man, can I come and jam with you?" Yeah. And so come over, and he played Jamie St. James drum set. He totally totally destroyed his drum set. Broke all
Wow.
the head. He broke the kick drum head. He kicked through it and broke the bass drum pedal, where you put your foot, the metal. He broke that in half. But he played like 25 minutes and everything was trashed.
Wow.
and he got done. He goes, "Okay, well, I better go." And so he left, and the other guys hated him. The guitar player Jeff couldn't stand him.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said,
But
"He
you.
overplayed. He's fat. We won't be able to control him,
Yeah.
and it just makes too much jokes." I go, "Wait, what's the wrong point there? That sounds like everything good to me."
You
My
always
what?
you were always the guy who with another mindset than everybody else, huh? Like
Yeah,
yeah. Hey, Matt. First
I'm
of all,
that way too.
is it possible that we put it that you change your camera a little bit because you're in the corner? It's not looks not so cool. Yeah, this is better. This is much better. Yeah, this is much better.
Okay.
Uh, and we're gonna continue with Dr. Mastermind. Oh no. First of all, are you proud of the what you have achieved with over all those years in with Wild Dogs? Are you happy about that the cult is still alive and people still want to hear those songs and are searching for the record?
Yes, I am. I'm very proud of it. We were only together. It was only like 3 years,
Yeah.
and you could buy all the music on CD on my website and at eBay for free shipping.
Oh wow. How can
Yeah,
you how can you manage that free shipping from the US?
I charge. I got the CDs made. It was $300 for 1,000 CDs.
Okay.
It's in bulk, and so I put them all together myself. I had the
Wow.
covers made separate, and
Yeah.
I put the thing together myself and put them in the jewel cases myself. I put the in the shrink wrap too,
Yeah.
and so they're like 30 cents a disc to make, but the covers are about 60 cents sold. So I charge $7.99 for a CD. So the money that goes to, it's about $3.19 to ship in America. In Europe, it's a lot more money.
Yeah.
It went way up last January. It used to be like $8 to ship a certain amount of weight, but it doubled. I don't
I
know.
know the problem. Are you first of all, I skip the question of Dr. Mastermind, and I go back to the to your second to your favorite continent. I think Europe, right? It's one of
Yeah.
your favorite. Yeah. About the metal fans and the punk fans, the metal rock punk fans in Europe. What's your opinion about us? You know, the Dutchies and Germans in particularly.
I've found in 40 years of having people write me and be friends with them, they're loyal. In fact, I got the German flag tattooed on my arm because
Yeah.
they've been loyal, and they don't just want something from you. They contact you, and they're real friends like you are, Marco.
Yeah. Thank you.
Real people like I like,
Yeah.
and it's not just a metal fans. When I went to Netherlands in 2002, everywhere I went, strangers would say hello,
Yeah. That's normal here.
which is not normal here. They won't look at you, and it reestablished my faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Does
A
that
lot
make
of
sense?
people think it's strange, yeah, when I have people from other parts, also from other parts of the Netherlands even. They say, what? Not everywhere in the Holland is the same, but in my area also we say everywhere, we say on the street like hello, 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 and then people look who are next to me. I said, why are you saying hello? Do you know this person? I don't know. I don't know him, but just pass by. Then we say hello. You know.
You might meet your best friend, and on trains and buses, the same way. People just sit down and talk, and
Yeah. Yeah.
at
That's true.
restaurants, it was kind of strange for me to walk into a restaurant and we sit down, and then another group of people would sit down at the same table.
They go joined you at the table.
That never happens in America. It could
No.
be two people and 6 people table, 6-person table, and no, don't sit with them. You don't know them. But
Really? Ah,
no, and my girlfriend hates that. I
yeah.
love it. She went to Paris and London, and I said, man, the thing I like best about it is that strangers will sit down at your table and you talk like regular people.
Yeah.
You don't
Like,
have to know them.
yeah, no.
You get to know them as you're eating.
But I was in San Francisco last month, and I was talking to the bus driver, for example, about everything. You know, when you do it, I recognize when you do it, when you go start talking, people talk back. You know, at least. But in Holland, it's like normal. When you're alone traveling, why should you not talking to your neighbor who's also traveling alone? You know.
Right. We're all humans, and it's we're all on this. We share the same planet, so why not just talk to each other?
Yeah, true. It's true. Yeah, but that's something I'm not sure if it's typical Dutch or German, or I think you have it's like maybe it's not in Portland, maybe it's somewhere else in the US it is, and maybe it's somewhere in Holland not, but in my area at least we all say hello to each other, even if it's like a little bit antisocial when you not deny people. Like if I met you on the street and I look you in the eyes, I have to say hello. That's normal, you know. If I don't want to say hello, I have to skip another way, you know, because if I pass you, I have to say hello. It's yeah.
Yes, human kindness,
Yes.
and that's what makes the world better. I haven't experienced that with Germany.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Turkish people that own stores in Germany were not very friendly at all. But
Yeah.
everybody I know that's German is very friendly to me.
Yeah.
And but still, it's not as distant or separated as it is here in America.
Hmm.
Why is that person looking at me? Well, why did that person say hi? Well,
Yeah.
we got blood as rank and file. That's all. We all got blood running through our veins. For sea to shine and sea. That's one of the lines, and that's what that's about. Like we're
Yeah.
all the same. We're all the same, and our countries have different circumstances. But when it comes down to it, we're all. I'm human. You're human. We're all the people that inhabit the earth. And
Yeah.
if we start treating each other the same, without any biases, we'd be in a much better place.
Yeah, true. And about this whole because it's funny, what we're talking about. It's a funny fact. Uh, when you meet like people, I don't know. I have to skip because it's a very funny thing where we're talking about, and I think it's yeah, about the Turkish. Yeah, they don't feel like Turks. They don't feel like Germans. They feel like not that they are. It's something like I don't know what it is, but they feel not part of that country. They feel like they're. And but yeah, Germans in general, I think they're really cool, but they're also very correctly, very pünktlich. We call that. They follow every restrictions and are very political correct and sexual correct. You cannot make jokes like mentors and stuff. It's a little bit out of how you call that? It's not. It's not something they like. I think in Germany, some do, but I think they're very correct in Germany.
That's the way. The place I work, at college, yeah,
Yeah.
you are told to not compliment people,
Hmm?
not compliment them on their looks at all, and all everything goes against my upbringing.
Yeah.
So fuck that. I gotta be human. I don't want to be like
A robot.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. It's something like we also taught from what would you say? Like when I ask you for how are you doing, Matt? Then a lot of Americans say, "Oh, I'm
Fine.
great. I'm great. I'm fucking great." And I saw in America when I was in America, I was a guy who was homeless, had sleep in a tent on the street, and some other homeless guy said, "How are you doing?" "I feel so great," he said, and he was sleeping on the streets. And I think, well, why are you saying you're fucking? You feel so good, look at your life,
Well, a lot of people who are homeless in America, they do it in rebellion against the system, the rat race.
Really?
Yes, yeah, it's not they can't. Some people, my one friend, he has his family owns this huge place, uh, shopping center, and he inherited part of it. He had it's like $1 million in the bank. He sleeps out in the streets.
Really? In
Yeah,
in in or in Portland where it's cold?
yes.
Wow. Wow.
Uh, Another guy that was lived up at his on my street. He lived in his daughter's basement. The guy had $20 million, and he dressed like a bum. He's an old man. You go through people's dumpsters. Just yeah, he came up from. He was older. He was like came through the depression, I think. But yeah, my mom's friend worked with the homeless people, and she was really surprised to find out that they liked the freedom of not being tied down by rents and all the rest of the trappings of what
Yeah.
we normal society.
Yeah.
Some of these tent places where people live, you see brand new BMWs or Porsches, but they have
It's
no. My friend told me, "Hey man, if I last 3 years out here, I'll never have to work again by not paying out my money every month."
wow. Yeah, but this is something what you're saying about what I recognized I remember that when I go the rents and the cost, also the cost for food and drinks in the US is and everything is so expensive. People need 4 jobs to fortune that about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they don't have time to work 4 jobs.
No. Yeah. It's crazy. I know. I was there and I saw it. The prices for everything are outrageous. I wasn't. It's insane. What everything costs in the U.S.
For a little apartment, and then and all these neighborhoods are storage units.
Mm-hmm.
So because you can put all the rest of your stuff in the storage,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I don't like that at all. It was much better 40 years ago.
Yeah. Everything was better 40 years ago. Also the music. And let's skip, continue to the music because Dr. Mastermind. I want to talk about you with Dr. Mastermind
Okay.
because you made one hell of a record. This is that famous record. I think it was from 1986 or 87. I think. Remember?
86.
86. And Wim, my friend Wim, I don't know if you know him, Wim Van Grunsven. He's a Dutch guy, also a heavy metal fan all the way. He told me yeah, Marco, it sounds like Saxon playing playing with Yngwie Malmsteen. That was his opinion, and I think also he is right because it's a fucking great masterpiece. It's Dr. Mastermind masterpiece, you know, and
Yeah.
and it's an underrated record because not many people have, you know, it's a record. If I show this to people, I'd say, well, I don't know it, and they
But,
have to check it out. Yeah.
yeah. But Mike Forney told me he'd give me a deal, but he saw my pictures when I had Evil Genius. He said, "Yeah, go with that. So don't call yourself Matt McCourt." He wanted to do something that was like King Diamond. It's
Yeah.
different. So it was a different guy.
Yeah.
And Yngwie was gonna. We called Yngwie to be the first guitar player, and he was out of the country already would have done. Then sent me Paul Gilbert.
Oh wow, Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big and Razor X.
Yeah, he lived in Pittsburgh. He hadn't moved to the West Coast yet, and he was too Eddie Van Halen, and his sense of humor is just, I don't know, too dry for me. Then he
It's
said,
right
"Well,
for you, yeah.
the guy that replaced Yngwie and Steeler, Kurt James would be good. He's also a Jimi Hendrix fanatic. Oh, perfect. And he's also an only child, and we hit it off to just great. We're still really good friends,
Yeah.
and I did the basic tracks up here in Oregon, and we took the rest of it down to California, and um, the rest of it was finished there. I spent the week with Kurt, and then my friends. Part of the deal was my budget would pay for Dean to move to that area of California, and he would play with Tony McAlpine for paid money or monthly tip, and also do sessions. Well, while he was uh, practicing with Tony McAlpine, Neil Sean and John Waite and John, the keyboard player from Journey, heard him, and they hired him to play in Bad English.
Oh.
So for making no money and never having a job ever, and we never made any money, he went to 500,000 in a year. Wow.
If I listen to you and and I hear everything and see everything, you joined the stage and the rehearsal with many great musicians over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And yeah.
go ahead.
No, but also about something I just get in mind because we are talking about all these Dean Casanova and Tony McAlpine and Paul Gilbert, all these names. Uh, you also were a part of like something else I have here also. Wait a moment. You have one moment?
Yes. Hello? Are we there?
You were also part of this tour, right?
What is it?
It is the Up in the Smoke tour with Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg,
Oh
Eminem, and
no, I worked as a stagehand.
as a stagehand. Oh wow!
I
And
worked
it's a
for the.
legendary show.
Yeah, it was great. As the weird thing about it was, I worked at the arena, our local arena, as a stagehand, setting up everybody from Christina Aguilera to ZZ Top, And I mean, I worked like 170 shows in the time I did. Then I had to join the union, but there wasn't enough work. It
Yeah.
didn't work. So um, yeah, that was a great show. But when they had people, the police were checking people coming in, but they were only checking the black people.
Oh,
And
really?
we're searching the black people that were in the tour for guns and drugs. Until I said, "Hey, that's do you realize you're only searching the black people on the tour?
Yeah.
Are you trying to so they searched some other stagehands and found drugs and guns on them?" So that was before marijuana was legal here. That was in 2000.
Yeah.
Man, I worked a lot of shows, and yeah, corn and no metal. They didn't have metal. There wasn't any heavy metal that played in the arenas. Nobody was selling it. Um, Judas Priest during that time, they had Ripper Owens. They're playing at
Yeah.
Starry Night.
Small. Yeah. Iron Maiden was also playing with Blaze.
Oh yeah.
A nice guy, by the way, but yeah, people want Paul Diano or Bruce Dickinson.
I used to talk to Paul Diano on MySpace and said, book my band. So I emailed him, and he contacted him back. It's great. He's a really cool guy.
Paul Diano.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I bought a book called The Beast.
Yeah. Look. It's the first Iron Maiden album. Yeah, I love all singers of Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden never disappointed me over the years. Yeah, to be honest, I like the 80s stuff more than what they do now. But also Brave New World, for example, I love that record. It was also a really great record.
See, I don't like singers that go high,
Yeah.
like Bruce Dickinson. And
Yeah. You told me that story why he left Iron Maiden, because he with his voice something. You told me 2 days ago. Remember that you say Bruce Dickinson left Iron Maiden because for his voice, and he came back after he trained it more or something like this.
no, that wasn't me.
Ah.
No, I didn't say that. I don't know about Bruce Dickinson.
No, okay, no worries. But yeah,
Paul was in bad shape last time I talked to him. He had sepsis, like too much drinking, I think.
And you were trying to book them. You were trying to book.
I got them booked at the Watchtower Festival.
Yeah.
With Korea and Dirk from Lubeck, Germany.
Yeah.
On. And had Vicious Rumors and Death Riders also on the bill, and his band. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was the same festival where we met. This festival.
It was after that. The same guys that put that festival on put the Watchtower Festival on. And the same guys who put the St. Pauli Festival on.
Yeah.
Put the Watchtower Festival on, and Paul Diano played there.
And yeah, but you also he also wanted to come to the US, but he wasn't allowed or something.
Yeah, he got busted for too much cocaine and some heavy duty guns, and he said, "I can't come to the U.S. anymore."
Oh wow!
But they're not going to let him.
Hey, and about this also band, this other band you had, this called Mayhem in the 80s. Please, tell me also more about this band as well.
Well, this band was started by Steve Hanford, the drummer, and I met him when he was 11 years old. He bought the first Wild Dogs T-shirt from me.
Oh wow!
And I was good friends with him for throughout the years. And during Dr. Mastermind, he'd come over and hang out with me, but in my house.
Yeah.
He was so young, he's dead now. He died a couple of years ago, but he did like 7 years in prison for robbing a drugstore for drugs, for oxycodone. That the guy was putting on shows when he was like 15 years old. But I knew he would be good friends with Tom Roberts from Poison Idea. I produced Poison Idea's first record and taught him how to play guitar and stuff, to show him how to do all this. And so did Mike Varney, helped out Poison Idea. I said, "Come with me." We went to Tom's house, and I said, "This is Steve," and he lived down the street. So they became friends, really good friends, and they joined the band. But that was after we did the Mayhem Burned Alive record, and the day after I left Wild Dogs on stage, before
Hmm.
I quit, he
Yeah.
called me up and said, "Hey Matt, that was cool. That was really great. Want to join my band? Want to join Mayhem? Sure." And so I went over to their house and practiced. I said, "Hey, I got to practice. I can use one of my empty apartments if you want to practice here." So they moved over. So we'd have parties and and practice. It was great. We played with High Racks. We played with Raw Power that summer.
Raw Power from Italy.
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
and yeah, Fabio, the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. They stayed at the Poison Idea house, but we made the record, and I've been working at the studio that we recorded the first Wild Dogs record, and
Yeah.
bringing it in so in trade for studio time,
Yeah.
and so I had enough time saved up from bringing in bands like Iscariot
Yeah.
and Haven, a band called Haven, for
Haven.
work. Yeah, and a bunch of other bands. And anyway, we used my hours to record the Mayhem Burned Alive album with the same engineer, Bob
Yeah.
Soundbird. I talked to him just yesterday. In fact, he had a heart attack about a year ago, and I go into the same doctors, and wow,
Oh.
it's
Eh,
I can't drive anymore, and I can't see very well, but I'm gonna get that fixed. They fixed his eyes, so I have hope. The same institution, the KZI Institute, which is really world famous for fixing people who can't see. So I got my fingers crossed, and otherwise I'll have to go meet people by braille. But
well,
we did that record, and then it came out on Black Dragon in France, and I don't know why, but it got stopped, and so I put that out too. That's available on my label on CD.
because you also have a kind of TV. Some you also do your own videos and your own YouTube channel and stuff.
Yeah, thank you. In 1993, I got this guy called me and wanted me to be talent on his cable access show.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s up here, heavy metal was a bad word, and so they couldn't be in a band. There's no metal that was booked. They wouldn't book it. So we put a band together called Mrs. Beasley's Nightmare. It sounded grunge, and we just do Wild Dogs and After Mastermind songs. And Dean would come up and play with us when he wasn't touring.
Yeah.
But I got into cable access TV, like Wayne's World, Wayne's World.
Party time, excellent.
And I would shoot funny comedy stuff. I was also a comedian called Madison Avenue. That's on my website too. And
Yeah.
Madison has a record out called Madison's Greatest Hits Volume 2. That's his first record. It was just funny songs. The guy Eric, told me to walk out on the Wild Dogs that night. We used to get high and drunk and smoke weed and make all these funny songs.
Yeah.
Kind of took us to the next step. But I did cable access TV for since 1993, and I went to school to learn how to do it for real, and got to working in the movies. Working on movies and infomercials, doing it for real. And I just took all my tapes over there, like 60 or 80 of them, and they transferred them, and they're playing them now on Portland Cable Access. It's called Open Signal. But when I started up again, I got back in there in like I want to say 2019 in September. I have produced 918 shows for cable access that are also on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
How can can you also give the link here for people to watch the YouTube?
If you go to usmetal.com, usmetal.com, scroll down until you find the YouTube logo. I click
Yeah.
that on my page.
And subscribe, of course.
Yes.
Yes. Do it like they do it on, like you have to do it on my channel, and like subscribe both directly.
Yeah, you don't have to, but if you do,
It will be cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. Hey, I also want to go to another thing. The Herman Brood, because I'm a big Herman Brood fan. Not about I like his art, but I also love his music. Are you familiar with the music Herman Brood made?
No, not at all. I didn't even know what, so we went there.
His music is so great. It's like punk rock. I will send you some songs over the messenger. You can check it out because his music was as valuable as his art. His music was really great, and it was very. It seems he was very popular in the 70s and in the US, and toured also over there. And he brought his own speed in the plane. It was still possible back then, it seems.
He bought his own seat.
No, Herman Brood
Yeah.
who was besides the painter, he was also
I
a
know.
big.
I
Yeah.
know that, but you said he bought his own seats, or what did you say?
No, he brought his own speed.
Oh, speed.
Yeah, amphetamines.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And you.
the guy that I was with,
Mhm.
his manager gave him a syringe that was Herman Brood's because he bought so many paintings. It was this metal thing.
Yeah, he was really cult. I saw him cycling. He was a normal guy, and what you said, he became famous after, even more famous after he died. But during his life, he was also quite known, and yeah, uh, he was a lost talent actually. But yeah, everybody. It's great that you were at the museum in the US. Oh, in Amsterdam when you
No,
were there. In Amsterdam.
above a bar.
Yeah. But you were in the Amsterdam Herman Brood Museum, huh?
Where his loft where he lived.
Yes. Okay. But he also.
He said that the manager said they kept everything exactly the same as the day he died.
Okay, I never been there, but I love his music really, really hard. His record Cha Cha is a great record, and he also has some more. But I sent it to you. Check it out. It's really worth to check it
Okay.
out. Hey, and you had so many bands and projects, and you were you seems like a guy who's never sits still, and
Yeah, I get in trouble.
yeah. Can you also tell me, give me a little more discography about all those things in compact? Like a little, I call it a little, little, little story about everything you did over the years since what we haven't where we haven't talked about it. What I have forgot to ask you. Are there some
Okay.
more? Yeah.
I did Mrs. Beasley's Nightmare with Dean and Kip Doran and John Donnelly. I sang. We did Wild Dogs, and then I did the Vultures. That's a
Yeah.
band that had two girls in it, and it was kind of like punk Motorhead. Kind of play guitar on it.
Yeah.
Each one of these bands, there's a link under the bands section on my website, usmetal.com. There's a thing that says bands, and every band I've been in has a story.
Wow.
And so I was busy, very busy. I think I burnt my eye out doing my website, but the Vultures was with two girls from the band, the Voodoo Dolls, and they
Yeah.
won married to one of the mentors, and that lasted for about a year. And I also had a heavy metal blues band called the East Side Stranglers.
Oh.
Again with Kip and who was from Evil Genius, and we played these clubs that nobody'd show up ever. And actually, the Vultures played with Hall of Flame, which was Kurt Vanderhoof from Metal Church's band.
From Metal Church, yeah, also died.
He did?
Kurt van der Hoof, yeah, I think so.
No, David.
Oh no, that was the singer. The singer. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the singer. The singer just died.
Yeah, the two singers did. I had
David Wayne, and the other was he died last year. Yeah, during the COVID time he died. Oh, what's his name? Yeah, you're right.
I was on stage in 2005 at the Chicago Classic Metal Fest, and somebody handed me a piece of paper and said, "Read this," and I read and said, "I'm sorry to announce that David Wayne has died."
Yeah, David Wayne.
Yeah, he died of gangrene.
Gangrene.
I think he got in a car wreck and his leg needed to be amputated, and he said no.
Because David Wayne who sang on the first record.
Yeah.
And also on the second record. And then they had another singer. And he died also. It was his name.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember. It was Mike Howie.
Yeah.
Mike Howie. He also died. And but sorry, Kurt not. But they also they were also from the Washington. They moved to the Washington State later on. They are from.
They've been there.
They're from San Francisco, California.
No. They're from Seattle.
Yeah, Washington, Aberdeen. But are they? Are they now? Are they originally from your area, Metal Church? Yeah.
I'm
from Seattle. Yeah.
I'm in Portland, about 2 hours away.
Yeah.
South.
Okay.
And this is I had the Ravers. That was 1980.
Yeah.
And, the Ravers and the Vultures and the East Side Stranglers and the 4 lineups of Wild Dogs and the Ace of Spades Motorhead tribute from 2007 till 2018. And let's see what.
Were you also on the compilation Anthony made, the Motorhead compilation? Yeah.
It's Killed by Death.
Yes. And now he made also a Raven tribute, right, Anthony?
Right.
Yeah.
Great
guy, by the way, Anthony Drago from Italy.
Oh yeah. I sent him to Wacken Open Air.
Yeah.
And him and KD Monique, who is now she was an actress and a model in Italy. Now she's a film director and producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had two like big time movies, short ones that came out on Amazon Prime, and she's not called Arsenic, and then a new one that just came out, and I can't remember the name of that. But yeah, they went. I got the passes to Wacken Open Air.
Wow.
So
Wacken Open Air.
They made me a video and sent it to me, and I put it on the cable access channel. This is all before YouTube, so
yeah,
YouTube changed everything.
It's cool, but it's also for me. I think it's cool, but I also love the charm of waiting the whole week for something you want to see.
No, I like that. I like just being able to see it whenever you want to.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, and but can you also some yeah? I also want to hear. Yeah, you did so many things over the years, and
I helped start Malice. The band Malice. That was one of the first.
Malice, but you were out at the first record. You are not in it anymore, eh?
No, the whole idea was, you see, Mick Zane was friends with the singer, and we were at my Raiders record release, and
Yeah.
it was at his house, and James Neil, we were the only rockers there. And it was like Tower of Power people and these other soul guys and jazz guys. It was the only rock act on the label. And when James drinks a beer, he goes crazy.
We.
Oh, totally, really nuts. So
Okay.
he drank one beer and said, "I'm going to go outside." He went out to the backyard. He was gone for about 20 minutes. He came back later, and he was stark naked, completely naked, and covered with shit. And it smelled really, really bad. So, so I didn't want to be like a square. So I acted like it was English. Says, "Oh, dear boy, what's that new scent you have on? It smells really organic." I said, "What?" And you could tell he was messed up. He opened
After
up his,
one beer. After one beer.
yeah, he opened
Wow.
up another one and drank most of it. And I said, "Oh, that's a little ripe. Did you leave your clothes outside?" "I took my clothes off and rolled in shit." "A dog shit?" "No, shit. My shit."
Wow.
So then he just freaked out, went out the front door, and ran towards the freeway.
Wow.
My friend Paul Curdy chased out. He goes, "Oh, well, I better go get him." Right? So he went after him. He said his car smelled like shit for like months. And after that, Mike Landau or Mick Zane didn't want to play with James. So Jay had me and Kip and Dean play on the first song so he could get a demo and get a deal with Metal.
Metal Blade Records. We stick to the point that from the guy who shit himself. Please continue.
He went outside, took a shit, rolled in it, came back into the party. There's all
Yeah.
these people in suits and big time, record guys, and um, then ran out the door and left. But
Wow.
Mick didn't want to play in a band with him anymore, and so we did the demos for Malice a couple of years later, just so we could lure Mick and Mark Bain into Jay's band Malice.
Yeah. A great band, and it was on the edge of a little bit like it was US metal with a glam touch, yeah, right?
It was like Judas Priest Jr.
Yeah, but they have this little bit. They had this little glammy touch, I think, in my opinion.
Fringe jackets.
Yeah. Hey, and so that yeah, you had this long time career. What was the first moment you touched the instrument, and which instrument was it, and
Uh,
how old were you back then?
I was about 3 or 4 years old, and
Wow.
my mom gave me a plastic guitar because I was going around the house, and so I did that or banging on a piano.
Yeah,
When I was
cool.
5, my grandfather was a drummer in the 40s, a swing drummer, jazz drummer, and he got me drumsticks and taught me how to play drums. So I started playing drums when I was 5.
Wow.
And
So so music was always a big part of is was actually and still is your life. It's everything for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I play I played drums, piano, keyboard a little bit, and bass and guitar and sing. I became a singer because in the Wild Dog because the guy didn't show up,
Okay.
so I just did it. I originally played second guitar and
All by a natural feeling for music actually.
taught myself everything. I never took a
Yeah.
lesson.
Never took one lesson for nothing.
No.
Wow.
I used to go jam when I was like 14 years old. I go jam with people who were in their 20s. We go out. That's when you could go out and there's people live in the country or on
Yeah.
farms, and we'd take acid and we play all music all night.
Okay.
And one time, I learned that I play guitar, and there was no bass players. And the bass player that was there said, "Hey, do you want to play bass? I got to go someplace." I said, "Okay, I can do it." So he loaned me his Rickenbacker, and I played bass, and I could play all night. And so I said, he asked me if I wanted to borrow his bass the next weekend, and he wasn't going to show up. So I played all night. I played bass. I thought, hey, if I play guitar, I'll be sitting out. If I play bass, I could play all night. And so I started playing bass.
Wow. And
Became
if people wanna find out everything you did over the years, they can go to this website us.com, usmetal.com,
yeah,
usmetal.com,
yes,
usmetal.com, and that they can find the YouTube channel. And can they also buy there these great T-shirts like I wear now,
yeah.
and CDs? And can you give you a little information about that?
But yeah, you can do that. It's cheaper at eBay, and
At
there's an
eBay.
eBay link at the top of the page, right straight
Yeah.
to my store. And because it's a real pain to try to lower the prices on my website now that I can't see very well. But eBay I did before,
Yeah.
and it has the best prices, and shipping is better price, and
Mhm.
so you can just go there. But everything is by banner. So if you go down the page, you'll see a banner for my discography,
Yeah.
for my YouTube channel, for
Mm.
my bands page, and for freebies. I give away 20 some CDs downloads.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if you buy something from me, I send you a letter that says go to my freebies page. You got one.
Yes, I also have this recently from you. I don't know when I got it. I think already a longer ago. I think this was when I ordered. I got this picture with your autograph and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's from Headbangers Open Air, right?
Headbangers Open Air. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you were quite bold, you had
Yes.
you always change your hair all the time over the years, right?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to have long, straight blonde hair, and then
yeah,
I got tired of it and shaved it all off, and
yeah.
it still doesn't go back in the same spot, so I'm
Cool.
bald in some spots.
And last thing I want to know before we I'm going to sleep because it's deep. It's night. It's night here. I
Okay.
want to. I want to. You told me. We know. I know a little bit about your musical taste, and it is very a variety of a lot of things. Uh, you just told me you're a big Oasis fan, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm also a huge Les Paul fan and older music, old boogie woogie piano. I love
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And music is just like food to me. I don't. Dogs eat dog food all the time, but humans eat everything. And
Yeah.
for me, I like a big variety. So from soul to blues, funk. Well, I love George Clinton. I've been on stage with George Clinton in
Yeah.
Funkadelic. Yeah, I was the
Uh,
only guy backstage, and I was at a Robin Trower concert, and I saw this promoter girl, and she said I got to go up to the big Paramount and count out, do the count out for George Clinton. I go, wow, I'd rather be there. She goes, give me 15 minutes, go to the back door and tell me your name, and I did. And I said, hi, Mr. McCourt, come in, and he walked me backstage to where the party was. I was the only white guy there, and I was standing on the side of the stage. George Clinton came over, bear hugged me. He's a big guy. He bear hugged me and then walked me backwards to the center stage and swooped his hand out to there's 3,000 people there. And I was just like, wow, I love this, man. And I just danced for a while and went around to every, guy on stage and was dancing. And George got my eye. And he went over and got me and then walked me out to the stage and swooped his hand like, this is our friend, and walked me over to the bar. There's a full bar backstage, and people were all dressed really nice. I was the only poorly dressed white guy. He said, "Give him anything he wants. It was all free." So okay, wow. And gave me a little hug, and off he went back on the stage.
Wow, cool.
It was amazing, man. Yeah, it made my fucking weekend. And I but so I really like funk, and that's what I think I played bass different because I always and White Dean plays different because he's a jazz trained drummer, and the beats are a little different than on rock. Mm, that maybe probably why I never went big, so I've never made it huge because I do different stuff. But I like Les Paul. So I finally figured out how Bridges' story. What
Yeah.
I've been trying to get people to make a movie on Les Paul's life, not a documentary, a drama, because he had so much stuff. His arm was broken like in half, and he still played till he was 100 years old. He invented multi-track tape and reverb and echo and pickups. It's an amazing story. But like jazz, I for a couple of years I listened to nothing but jazz. But that started when I was a kid. But punk rock, and it's kind of funny. The thing I don't really listen to, I don't really like Motorhead really, is is metal. I don't go after metal because it all kind of sounds the same to me.
You're not so much into metal. In it.
No, I'm not a heavy metal fan. It's like just became a heavy metal guy because that's what was they were playing, and so I can write all kinds of country music. I love George Strait, and I uh, I like older music actually.
Yeah, from the
Old
60s and 50s and 40s and
30,
stuff. 30s. Oh wow.
yeah,
I I like if I watch some movie like some Stephen King movie and then with mysterious music from the jazz. The jazz can be very have a very special feeling if you watch that in movies like The Shining when they have this ballroom, with with the jazz music. It gives me some. I'm not a listener of jazz, but it gives me a very special feeling. This music, it has something. If I watch the movies where this music in, have a very special feeling. Uh,
yeah. That's it was a different world. There we had wars back then.
yeah.
For the last 50 years, we haven't really had a war,
No.
and I think wars have a big bearing on the art that comes out of it.
Yeah.
And life is more precious when there's a war going on.
Yeah, but we still have wars, but we have Facebook wars and social media wars and government wars, and but we don't. We're not fighting with weapons anymore, and but we fight with power and might and people under pressure and stuff like that. That's the new kind of war, in my
Well,
opinion.
they do that. That's what my father does. He was a soldier of fortune. He was a mercenary.
Yeah.
And he joined the Marine Corps when he was 15 and spent 2 years in Korea and then re-enlisted because they found out how old he was and was in the Marine Corps and was in Vietnam for 12 years. Most people don't think of the war lasting that long. Then he was a professional. He was, hired mercenary. So you don't know about the wars that go on. That what I'm saying is there are no big wars that draft people.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, yeah, my friends' brothers would get drafted to Vietnam and die.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that from when I was like 8 years old. I thought it was going to happen to me. So people today don't know that fear, and so they don't know how to really have a good time like they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes a big deal on hey, your life can be plucked away from you like with a pull. They pull your number, boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, 87 tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Your parents are still alive. You told me last week, and you live at your mother.
Yep.
Is she still around there? Is she around you at where? Maybe you
No,
can.
she's upstairs.
She's downstairs.
I'm in the attic where I live.
Okay. Oh, you live in the attic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets very hot up here in the summertime and very cold in the winter. But I can't afford to rent any place, even working mostly full time.
Yeah.
So expensive now.
Yeah, I know. Then you have a great mother who where you can live at least in her place.
And yeah, that's one of the benefits of being an only child.
Yeah, it is. And Matt, because it's nighttime, I was very happy to talk to you and to listen to your story. Please make some final promotion for yourself and for your music. Uh, uh, Matt McCourt from Portland, Oregon, a great guy, a great musician, all-round talent, lovely friend. I love him, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
It's
And
always nice to talk to you.
and I was very happy to finally have this chat with you. I hope we can continue talking when I am going to the US again, or you come to here. Then we finally can meet up again and have some drinks together, and we can have some fun together. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Hey, you want to say something to the viewers in Europe?
Sure. I love you people in Europe. Europe is the place, man. I love coming there. I wish we could. And I think we're travel restricted now. I'm not sure. But come to my website, usmetal.com, and everything you want to know about Wild Dogs, Dr. Mastermind, Mayhem, The Ravers, or all my other bands. I've done quite a lot of stuff, a lot more than you might know. And, if you get some freebies from me from download and, or buy some CDs from eBay. And, I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to stay. And, I appreciate you if you know who I am. I always said, hey, if there's just one guy that's liking my music, I'm gonna keep going, and that's how I started. So, and I never stopped. Never gonna stop. Not enough time to get what I need. Just like the Wild Dogs song. I
Yeah.
just never stopped. I just kept doing something. Just in the recent month, I've gotten kind of slowed down. I got Bell's palsy about a year and a half ago. That kind of slowed me down. What did I do? I made 918 videos for YouTube and cable access. I just tried to get my mouth to talk, just as therapy.
Yes.
But I had a stroke, and that's slowed me down. But yeah, I gotta just keep going. I've got hats. I'm making hats.
Wow. Hey, and
Like
this interview was a very good therapy for you, like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour talk on Skype, and
yes,
uh, and I also over the interview your voice getting better and better. How longer you talk, how better it goes.
yeah. It always is. It gets better if I talk.
Yeah.
And the first week when I called Bob Stoutenberg yesterday, the engineer for Wild Dogs, he said, "Wow, Matt, you talk so much better." Well,
Yeah.
thank that means that really makes me happy. And so I put up videos from Instagram to my Facebook page, and people tell me you sound better, and
Yeah.
that all really helps me. And I realized that there's a lot of people from that I grew up with at grade school and childhood that have been contacting me. That makes me feel really, really good. And
Yeah.
it's kind of this is a mess, man. I think somebody who doesn't want me to do my TV shows or to perform has cursed me. It
We
felt like that.
know we
They'll,
know what
they'll,
we know someone. We do.
yeah. Well, they will finally meet their own demise by messing with me because
Yeah.
I got the universe on my side.
Hey, Matt, I want to thank you so much for this great talk. My bed is calling me that I have to go now. Uh, Tomorrow, my quarantine is. I was in quarantine, this COVID quarantine for having nothing, but it's the rules. So I go sleep now, and tomorrow I have to work again. I want to thank you very much for the interview, and please, if you see someone on the street, say him hello, eh?
I do.
Yeah. No matter who it is, if it's a grandmother from 80 or a child of 7-year-old.
They look at me. Kids love me. Kids see me, and my girlfriend says, "It's happening again." Some kids staring at me at a restaurant. They'll come over and touch me.
Yes. It's not allowed anymore, eh?
I don't care, but
no, humanize people. Like you have to. It's too plastic, this world. You cannot act like you want to act. Like what's wrong to talk to people? What's wrong to talk to kids?
I set the example. I mean, I'm not, kids just like me. When I had bald head, it looked like a giant baby head. But I don't know what it is. They'll stop what they're doing and come over and tug my shirt or something.
Yeah. Kids are pure. Kids are pure, like animals. Now it's a little bit strange. Strange example, like kids and animals, because they are different, of course, but both are pure. That's why I love kids and animals also the most. Because they have no mask. They are who they are, and that's what the greatest thing of a child or a dog.
They haven't been tainted by society.
That's right.
And that's what made the Wild Dogs first record great. It wasn't tainted by anything. It's the same example. It's just like let to develop as you are and be who you are. It's a much better thing than trying to drive something.
Yeah.
So, dogs love me. Cats really love me.
Yeah. For me, it's the same. Sometimes you're still there. Sometimes I say, I wish all the women were so excited when they see me, when the same as kids and dogs when they see me, but that's when kids and dogs see me, like, hey Mar, they're excited, and women, it's a little bit harder, but
after they get to know you, then they do that.
Yeah, that's true, but they have to give you a chance, at least a chance.
There's a lot of men who have made that harder for women to accept people.
Yes, and I think the coolest our friendship between you and me is because we are we are similar with thinking and mindset, and we are not ashamed to say our feelings or what we think or what we say. Pure people, no plastic. It's always. I want to say that last thing, and I hope you agree with that. Be who you are, act who you are, like what you like, dress how you like, eat what you like. Just put that mask off and be yourself. And if you're gay, it's good. If you're gay, if you're hetero, it's good. If you like heavy metal, it's good. If you like punk, rap, I don't care. If you're a good person and you are pure and you are yourself, it's always good.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
I have a song called "Be Who You Are" on one of my records. Most people think I've only made 4 records, but I've made quite a few of them.
Well, if you share this video around, people who discover it and they're gonna see your website, they will discover Matt McCourt is more than just Wild Dogs doing this record, and maybe this record with Dr. Mastermind. Most people know, but there's a lot of more information and knowledge, and a lot of more behind that person, Matt McCourt from Portland, Oregon.
Thank you. I also made that costume, Dr. Mastermind costume, by hand with no pattern.
Okay.
I had
here.
I made the jacket and put it.
And the studs are great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
My thumb's never recovered.
Yeah.
And the spikes were made by a shop teacher. They're wood.
Okay.
They actually cut some people in the very first when I first had them. They're very sharp.
They were very sharp. Hey, Matt, I wanna say goodbye. I love you. You are fucking great, good. and I love you too. I love you, dude. You're a real maniac, and you're pure. You're real, and I appreciate what you're doing for the music scene for so many years, struggling but still going strong. Respect. Rock on.
That means everything to me. I just, I help other bands too.
Yeah.
So let the better man win is what I'm saying.
Yeah, true. Let the assholes going down,
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, for the passion, not the fashion, from Portland, Oregon, and Tilburg, the Netherlands, together on Skype. See you, brother. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much. How do you say that in Dutch?
What do you say?
How do you say thank you in Dutch?
Dankjewel. Dankjewel.
Thank you all.
Dankjewel, Matt. For the passion, not the fashion, like, share, subscribe now.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye-bye, brother.
Bye-bye.